I have chosen for my recent scholarship presentation Jonathan Edwards, Enthusiast, Radical Revivalism and the Great Awakening in the Connecticut Valley by Douglas L. Winiarski. Jonathan Edwards is remembered as an apologist in the classical vein, a pastor with a great desire to encourage and, where possible in regards to church covenantal membership, enforce piety, and a revivalist. Enthusiast as a noun has several possible applications. The three most likely in this case are: 1. A person who is very interested in a peculiar activity or subject. 2. A person who holds extreme religious views. 3. A person who is guided more by ideals than by practical consideration. The first two, with moderate caveats, would certainly apply to Edwards. The third would be a slander expressed by rivals concerning points 1 and 2. Winiarski credits Edwards with defending the revivals of New England from hostile charges of fraud, hypocrisy, and antinomianism. He then accuses Edwards of inciting the extra-normal behavior which accompanied many of these same revivals. He does mention that Edwards was concerned for elevating religious affections while guarding against the antinomian errors that often flowed from unchecked zeal. He underplays Edwards' concerns about Whitfield's use of theatrics and is remiss in recounting the level of concern Edwards expressed in direct chastisement of the itinerant minister's homiletic approach. Winiarski contends that there is an incongruity between Edwards' promotion of revival and his defense of the same. George Marston contends that Edwards was a man immersed in two eras. Edwards was both a medieval and modern, engaging the medieval, the Reformation, and the Enlightenment. Thomas Kidd further defends Edwards by identifying the preacher's desire to test the results as opposed to the emotional outbursts of these exuberant revivals. Did the convert display a lasting worshipful attitude glorifying God, or was the result self-glorification of the individual fading into a return to indifference to God and his admonitions? This concurs with Mark Noll, what he says about Edwards' emphasis on piety. Edwards sought to reconcile the contentious pro- and anti-revival factions of Suffield and its outlying community of West Suffield. The Westerners were part of the same parish and traveled a few miles to attend the parish's church under Old Light pastor Ebenezer Gay. Upon the successful founding of a West Suffield church, the pro-revival community sought Edwards' support for two young revivalist pastors. Edwards did not support the enthusiast candidates. This speaks against the question in the author's title. Edwards had, in contrast to his grandfather Stoddard, a habitually soft-spoken speaking style both by physical weakness and temperamentally humble disposition. This disputes several times where Winiarski uses terms that suggest a rousing hellfire, preaching terror approach to sermonizing. Edwards tried to rein in the excesses of his congregants. In conclusion, Winiarski fails in three areas. First, he fails to credit the social performance pressure for people to either purposely or unconsciously emulate what happened in events antecedent to the Connecticut Valley revivals. Second, Edwards was steeped in theological and historical understandings of radical events accompanying radical revivals. Examples include Pentecost, Augustine and the Pelagian heresy, Athanasius against the world, and the 30 Years' War and the English Civil War of the early 17th century. Third, he throws accusations yet never answers his own question. Jonathan Edwards, enthusiast,